Okay. Uh, Let me just see if there's someone. No. Okay. So hi everyone. I am going to cover some of the basic things about UPSC exam, civil services exams, and I don't see too many people, so I don't know if you can hear my to check. Okay. Let's see. Mm, okay. So hi guys. Can you hear my voice? Just say yes or no. Can you hear the stream? Quickly, someone say yes or no. Okay, I am getting hi messages. Hi everyone. Yes or no? Can you hear me? Yes. Okay. So I got one yes. Okay. Chalo, ठीक है. So let's start with how do you actually start the preparation? Okay. So if you're someone who has no background working and you don't know anything, step one, and this is going to be the rule for everything. Step one, always, always, always first check the exam notification. Most of the time there is someone telling you something, you believe that this is how the exam is or that is how the exam is. Please don't believe people. Check the exam notification by yourself. Okay, so download the UPSC exam notification. UPSC uploads it on its website. If you Google UPSC you will get the website. So UPSC always has the exam notification on its website. Go there, check the notification, read the syllabus multiple times. Please don't just assume what the syllabus is. Go read it 5, 6, 7, 10 times. In fact, what I did was I used to have the syllabus written in my own hand next to me forever, because when you're preparing, when you're studying, you need to keep going back to the syllabus to see what you've covered and what you've not covered. So always, always, always read the syllabus, uh, read it, go through it multiple times, and then decide what it is. Don't let ev- mostly क्या होता है कि you ask people and they tell you कि oh, this is what the syllabus is or that is what is there. Don't believe anybody. Also, read the exam process. Read the notification multiple times for the exam process, for the eligibility conditions, for everything. It's very clearly given there. So read that, and what you will get is that you will get all the conditions of the exam. So the exam in itself is in 3 stages generally. Um, the dates change a little, but generally the notification is out in February, March sometime. Okay, sometimes it might come out in January, sometimes it comes out in Feb, March. It's usually out by Feb, March, April, unless there is a specific problem that year. There is some change in the pattern or there is some change in the eligibility. The notification generally comes out within that time. So you will have the notification sometime in like the months I mentioned. You might have to keep going back to the UPSC website to check when the notification is out, or they actually sometimes upload a timetable of the examination and when they will get the notification on their website. So just refer to that, you will get to know everything. So when they in the exam process, there are 3 stages. First stage is the preliminary exam. There is a syllabus mentioned on the web in the notification of this exam of all the there are 2 papers in this one as of now. Okay, as of today, as of this year that is going on. It may change next year, you don't know that. So also remember, UPSC does change its patterns, it does change its syllabus. First attempt in preliminary exam, there used to be an optional subject and a GS paper. In my second attempt, the optional subject was removed. Instead, CSAT paper got added in. In my third attempt, the mains pattern was completely changed. Instead of the 2 optional subject in mains, 1 retained, and the GS completely changed. It was only in my fourth attempt that I ever gave the same exam as previous year. Otherwise, I've always ended up giving a new exam pattern. So I'm just explaining the current pattern to you. Okay. Somebody just asked, is it possible to clear prelims in last 4 months? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Okay, so here is what the pattern is. You have prelims, which is two papers. One is GS, one is CSAT. CSAT is now a qualifying paper only, which means that you need to be above a certain level. You don't need to do exceptionally well in it. The marks of CSAT are not counted. They are just checked till the extent that you have passed beyond this level. So, for example, if it's a 200 mark, I don't remember what the marks of the paper currently are. You have to go to the notification and check that. These are details. Please check in the notification. What actually happens is that if there is a 35% cutoff, for example, for CSAT, then you have to score above 35%, and that's it. That's all you need. In the GS paper, which is paper one generally, there it matters how many marks you score. So in prelims, the syllabus is mostly the syllabus of the mains. There are few topics which are different and which are added on. And I know that prelims just passed and got its result just yesterday or day before, I believe. So so good luck to those who've gotten selected, and don't worry too much for the ones who haven't. You can attempt it again. So I hope you all clear next time. So what you need to do is that for GS, first prepare your mains. Prepare the syllabus of the mains, because remember this, GS exam only allows you to give the mains exam. What really makes you get on the other side, come out as an officer, is the mains exam. Okay, so remember this, that prelims is just about crossing that barrier. Okay, so you just need to be in the top 13,000, 14,000 that will be selected that year for the mains. For prelims, you don't need to do your best and be the best in the whole lot. It doesn't matter. All that matters is that you just cross that boundary. So do this, that you prepare for the mains first, because if you if you clear prelims, the timeline between prelims and mains is very small. It won't be very easy to prepare for mains in that. And prelims is just adding on to your the syllabus of prelims is just a couple of extra topics. They don't make that much of a difference. So if you just do the main syllabus really well, you'll be good enough. And that actually how well you do in prelims now also tells you how well you're likely to do in mains. So if you're passing the prelims with your mains prep, that means you've done something basic, and you just need to add on for your mains as well. So prepare for your prelims through first preparing for your mains, and then adding on to current affairs on those topics of mains. So for example, okay, there is one thing that I had mentioned in the last live session about not recommending making notes, and here is how it becomes a problem. What happens is, if you've made notes for all your mains ka syllabus and your topics, and you're preparing prelims from your notes, prelims is actually about the small details. It's all about the small little tiny details, and if you studied only from the notes, you will miss those details. You will miss that little sentence that was written in the book, which you might not have copied in your notes. So that's where only studying from notes becomes a problem. So to cross your prelims, you need to study your main syllabus and do it really, really well, and then revise your main syllabus multiple times, and then add on to that. Okay, and you need a lot of current affairs for prelims. Current affairs you need to do at least 12 months before the exam. So if you're giving the exam, let's say in I think it was in April, I believe this year, April or May, right? So if you're giving the exam in April of 2019, then you need to be thorough with your current affairs from April of 2000. Well, let's say they ask you prelims questions till a month before, so they will ask you questions till March 19, which means that you need to go thorough from March 2018 to March 2019. Okay, if the exam is in April. So that's roughly the period that you need to cover. 12-13 months before the exam is what your current affairs portion that you need to cover is. Okay, so that's one thing. So cover that well. Language papers. Okay. Current affairs, I studied from multiple sources. I did 2-3 online websites, and besides that, I did coaching materials of I think 3-4 coachings. See, the thing is, you need to prepare current affairs at least from multiple sources, and I also recommend that you prepare all your subjects also from multiple sources. If not 5-6, then at least three sources for me each of the syllabus topics. And remember this for prelims and for mains for GS1, not GS1, GS2 and GS3 topics. Please refer to government websites. Please read government websites very thoroughly. If you read the topic, you will understand what government website you need to go for that. Go to the government websites. A lot of the data is given there. So please always read your government websites. Okay. Wow, it's 10 minutes and we've just talked about this. Okay, so that's one thing that you need to do. Then your preparation for mains becomes, I think I've already covered it, because mains is your all of that syllabus that's given in the notification. Just prepare according to that. Take each syllabus, read the relevant books for that, which includes your NCRTs, and I'll come back to why NCRTs is important. Read your basic books, which is NCRTs, then you read on your additional subject books, and then you Google each topic and read as much as possible in each of the topics. So that's the preparation that you need to do. And remember this, that you need to be very, very good at your Googling skills, because a lot of this material that you will have to brush up on. And see, what will give you an extra edge in the mains is how much you've collected knowledge on that topic. Okay, so it's never a bad thing to read as much as possible. Please read whatever you can. English मेंस में लिखने के लिए इंग्लिश गुड होनी चाहिए. Yes and no. English has to be grammatically correct. You don't have to write beautiful English. You don't have to be an English scholar. Write very plain and simple English, almost the type that I'm talking about. So just a basic level of English is fine. You don't need to make it beautiful. You don't need to write poetic English. That's okay. You just need to be very precise and clear in what you're writing. Don't beat around the bush. Also remember this, that the teacher is smarter than you. You are just seeing one person's answer sheet. The teacher is seeing 13,000 people's answer sheet. Okay, so don't try to fool your examiner. Think about it like this: if you are the examiner and someone gives you this beautiful answer, which is the same thing written in 5 different formats. Okay, what we do is, because we don't know the answer, we write the same sentence in 7-8 type of words. Like we use different words and we make it into the same sentence into 7-8 times. We write it. Don't do that. The examiner knows that you're doing that. They've been checking copies for years and years and years, and they have dealt with all sorts of students, including all of us. So please don't try to fool the examiner. Think about it. If you are the examiner and someone does that to you, someone gives you an answer which is basically the same sentence written in 5 different ways, you are going to be irritated. And what happens is, if he's going to give you 1 mark on that answer out of 10, because you really don't know anything, you've just written 1 point. In the next answer, where you might have written really well and you might have covered everything, he's going to be irritated with you. He's going to not like you, and then he's going to cut your marks in that. So if you were going to get 9 in the next answer, you will now get a 7. And remember, in mains, except for the top 10, 15 ranks, after that, people generally, everybody is generally on the same rank. It's just within 1 mark in the lower ranks, there are 10 to 12 people. Okay, so every single mark matters in the mains. It doesn't matter so much in the prelims. In prelims, it's just above that boundary. For mains, every single mark matters. So you have to ensure that you've cleared, you don't make these mistakes. Don't treat your examiner as an idiot. He's not. He or she is not. So don't insult your examiner's intelligence. Don't treat them like they're stupid and you can get away with saying whatever. You can't, right? Okay, so importance. So one thing that I want to talk about is the importance of NCRTs. Yes, I am. I'll tell you why. A lot of the times, the other books that you're reading, they might have something given wrong. And that happens. That actually happens. I remember this when we were preparing. There was this one fact which was given wrong in almost. It used to actually change in different books. Okay, so in different geography, it was a geography fact. That's why I remember it so clearly, because that was my optional. For all of those people who keep asking me what's my optional, geography is my optional. Okay, I'll just come to. Just hold your questions for a bit. I'll come to that. If you're a class 12 student, please just keep updated with current affairs. Nothing beyond that. Please just keep updated with current affairs. Okay, I'll come to time management in a bit. Just give me 1 second. So, what happens is that in a lot of your books, there will be a fact given differently. So, how do you decide what is correct? You decide basis what the NCRT says. So, if you read carefully, NCRT in one paragraph would have actually, there is no extra sentence. There is never any extra sentence in NCRT. Like I am repeating myself a lot of the times. NCRT doesn't do that. NCRT writes every sentence, every single sentence in an NCRT is a full, theory. So you will have to search every single sentence. It's that relevant, and whatever is given in NCRT is the final correct answer. So sometimes there will be a conflict that. Book A says that this is in this way. Book B says that this is in this shape. What NCRT says is correct. So go with what NCRT defines something, go with what NCRT says. That's why NCRT is the most important, especially from the point of view of prelims. Because there will be facts which are given wrong in other books, and that happens very often. You don't realize it if you don't read the NCRTs. So NCRTs are very important. In my time, and that was years ago, we were reading NCRTs of the old, which was pre 2000 and post 2000. Both of them are very relevant. The books give amazing material, and every single sentence matters. So that's why I really recommend that you read NCRTs, because when it comes to factual things, NCRT is what is the correct answer. So that's how it becomes. Okay, medieval India. I never prepared medieval India because it's just a topic of prelims. It doesn't help in the mains, and it takes so much time. I didn't think it was right to prepare for that. So, coming to those who are, let me just go to the next. Duration of preparation. Most people keep asking me how long do we need to prepare. It can't be quantified. You can't say that if you prepare for 12 months, then you'll clear. Because there are people who've cleared after preparing for 3 months or 2 months also. And there are people who've prepared for 7 years and still never cleared. So you can't really say what is the ideal time of preparation. It's very dependent on you. It's very dependent on your strategies. And also the way you treat this exam. A lot of people are very flamboyant and they think, I have decided to do it, so I will obviously do it. That kind of attitude sort of brings you down. Life shows you the correct way. It's up to you when you want to learn it. So if you learn it early, if you decide to do it early, you'll do it. You'll not make those mistakes. But if you're too arrogant and you think that the examiner is an idiot and the syllabus is a joke, and and there are people who do that, you will take your time. So just respect the exam process. Don't take it as a joke. Don't take it lightly. Just respect it properly, and I think you should be able to do it. And there is no standard duration because everybody does it at their own pace. See, somebody was just a housewife, and she asked me that how do housewives prepare? So if you have chores as a housewife, I'm sure you have time in the afternoon which is free. So maybe you can, schedule yourself like that. So why don't you target that today? I will finish this much syllabus. I will finish, let's say, 20% of the syllabus, and you do that. And say, let's say I want to finish 2 chapters today. So you make your targets according to that every day, and that's how you work. If you have, this is also true for people who are in the jobs. A lot of the people don't have time in your regular day, and honestly, when you come back after office, you are so tired, you don't want to think about anything else, and I completely understand that. So in that case, what you do is you start getting up early. You get up at 4 a.m. and you study till whatever time you can, and then you go to office. And the good thing about studying in the morning is your brain is at least free like that. So that can be a strategy for people who are working. And if you're a housewife, please understand there have been many, many girls who have been housewives or who've been working and married. Life well, then you'll be able to clear it. If you just make those little targets for yourself, make that little timetable for yourself, and don't be in a hurry. If you are stuck in life in a particular phase and you don't have so much time, then plan it accordingly. So plan that you will give not the next attempt, but the one after that, and then you prepare for that. So don't be in a hurry if you don't have too much time in life. Don't mess that up. Somebody who was just asked me a question that I'm a trans man, can I get this exam? I don't think there's a third gender option still available. But I don't think anybody can tell you that you're a certain way. uh, in your gender orientation, so you can't give this exam. You can give this exam no matter what your gender orientation. And if after that the system says anything to you, fight it. Please be ready to fight it if the system is mean to you. If the system doesn't understand things that are very natural to you, you might have to fight it, but don't let them take away your rights. Don't let anybody take away your rights. Don't let anybody take away your chance at equality, your chance at being on the same platform as others. So go ahead, sit for the exam, clear it. I think you can pick either gender that you want, and let's take it from there. Yeah, other gender I don't think is an option yet, but it's there in your Aadhaar card, so why not? How many times should I read NCRT? That's up to you. That's up to you. There is no definition of how many times. How to start NCRTs? Oh wow. Well, you take the syllabus, you take the first topic, you check which NCRTs you have to read for that, and you read that. That's all that you need to do. Don't worry too much on how to start. Just pick something and start reading. You can start with your optional. You can start with any of your GS paper. GS 1, 2, 3. Pick anything. Just start reading. Just pick something up and start reading. I cannot help you with any of the optionals in particular, because I only had geography and PABAD, and honestly, I wasn't all that. I didn't really like PABAD so much, so I can't help you with that. For geography optional, everything is given on my blog. Whatever I have studied, I have given it on my blog, even for current affairs and all. So if you're going to ask me questions on exact topic answers, please check my blog for that, irasinghal.blogspot.com. You can just check that. It will give you all the answers for exact questions that you're asking me. Okay, there is one question that people ask a lot, which is about the exam, that I want to choose English in my prelims and then Hindi in my mains and then Punjabi in my interview. So here is how the languages work as a medium. You can take any language in your prelims and mains. I'm answering this for English and Hindi people. You can either choose English as your medium, then you have to give your mains and prelims in that, or you can choose Hindi and you can then give your prelims and mains in that. You only have the option of changing your language medium for your interview. And unfortunately, in interview, I don't think too many languages are offered. I think only English, Hindi, and maybe I think that's it. I think only English and Hindi are offered in the mains. In the interview. So you can only take those two as a differ this thing. And for mains and prelims, your medium of language is usually the same. It's only changing for your interview. In your interview, you can change it. Otherwise, if I'm wrong, please check the UPSC notification, exam notification. It gives you everything. I have answered what should be your optional in my last chat. So I won't be answering those same questions again. Okay. There seem to be too many people. How many hours in a day should we study? It is never about the hours. Please don't study by hours. I mentioned this in my last interview, last live chat. Please go check that. This is something that I discussed in detail. For optional, again, please choose an optional that you love to study, because you have to almost study it like you're doing a PhD in it. So don't choose an optional that other people like. Choose an optional that you can do well in. Other people may do well in whatever optional, that doesn't matter, because it's their choice and their interest. You can't do well in something that is my interest. You can only do some well in something that is your interest. So choose something that is your interest, no matter what the background is. I'm an engineer with an MBA and I took geography optional. A lot of my friends who have no background in law have taken up law optional. A lot of people take up whatever optional they want. Choose what works for you. Don't choose something that other people have done well in. How can you do something well in something that is my choice? You will only do well in something that is your choice. So just do that. Okay, so there is one thing that I want to talk about, which is a little more relevant to girls than boys. It's about convincing your parents that you can give this exam. A lot of the girls keep asking how do I convince my parents? And they want me to get married. They want me to not study and, okay. Sometimes it's a very bad world out there that your parents don't understand that you are capable and you have dreams. I would recommend that you clear a slightly easier exam first. that way your parents know that you're serious and you can clear something. So I would recommend that you first clear an exam of a lower level, compared to CSC directly, and show them that you're able to do it. Maybe that works, or you actually sit down and have a logical conversation with your parents. It cannot be an emotional conversation with you yelling and screaming and saying you don't trust me and you don't like me and you don't have faith in me and you never loved me. Don't do that. It doesn't work, because if you get emotional, other people also get emotional. So have a logic to why you can clear it. Tell them clearly, these are the reasons why I think I'll clear it, and this much. And you have a timeline. You tell them, I want 2 years, and if I do this much in 2 years, you let me do this. Otherwise, I get out. Okay, so have a logical discussion. Have a timeline that this is what my timeline is. This is how much time I want for myself. In some cases, it will work. If it doesn't work, if your parents are not the type who listen at all, uh, this is a suggestion. Then what you do is that when you're getting married, please find someone who can support your dreams. I have a lot of friends in my batch, and I know of people in different batches who have cleared many years after marriage. A lot of people, clear after marriage. A lot of people, uh, you know, do it, start thinking about it after marriage. It's possible, and it has been done. I think every batch has at least 7, 8 girls who've done it. So, and there are men as well. A lot of men clear after marriage as well. So it's okay. Do that. Sometimes you will find a supportive spouse. Sometimes you will find a husband who understands your dreams and is able to support you. So if your parents don't do that, then you try and find a husband who does. Then, because that's what your parents are going to do to you. They're going to make you marry someone. So try finding someone who will at least support you in that. And or if these things don't work, you have to make a choice for yourself. What is more important to you? What is more important to you? What do you want to do? And make a choice for yourself, and then stand up and do. These are your only options. There aren't too many other things that you can do about it. Um, Motivation, another point that people keep asking: how do I, uh, you know, uh, motivate myself? Um, Okay, optional subject I've already discussed, and for specifics on how much, please check my blog. I've already mentioned where that is, and you can just Google Ira Singhal blog and you'll find all of that. How to read NCRT? What do you mean, how to read NCRT? Just open the book and start reading. How can there be something else? I don't know. I don't know what you mean by that. I honestly don't know what you mean by that. Just 1 second. My screen seems to have frozen. Okay. So motivation. That is actually the toughest part of this exam, motivating yourself every day. And that's why I say that please be clear on why you're doing this. Please know your reasons of why you're doing this. Please know what you want to achieve after this exam. And if you can remind yourself of that every day, if you can remind yourself that these are my reasons, this is what I want to achieve, and this is what I want to do with my life, this is how I see myself in 10 years, you will come back to motivation. Listen, nobody studies 24 hours, okay? And nobody's motivated every day. That is very tough. Very rare people are that motivated. So it's okay. It's okay if you study for 3 days and then you can't study anymore. It's okay. Take a break. I used to take a lot of breaks. I've taken so many breaks, it's not even funny. So take a break, go and please have friends. Please go hang out with your friends. Go watch movies. Go travel if you have money, and do whatever you want. Take a break. It's okay. Nobody can study very long. Nobody. It's not possible. It's not possible to continuously study for 1 year. It's just not possible. So it's okay. Don't punish yourself. If you want to take a break and then come back. And how do you come back is by reminding yourself that this is my reason for doing this, and this is why I want to be here, and this is why I'm sitting for this exam. And that's the only way. So that is why you need to be very clear on your own reasons of doing this. You have to be very, very clear as to why I want to do this. What is my motive? What was I aiming to achieve? And that's about it. Okay, so then relationships is another thing that people keep asking me. See, you can't cut yourself off from the world. You can't cut yourself off from relationships. The deal is that you manage them well. Okay, it's not about cutting yourself off, it's about managing them well. So you have, if you don't want to mess up your relationships, you will need to give time to them, but then you need to plan your study accordingly. You need to plan your syllabus and your course in such a way that you have time for everything. And relationships can be a distraction or can be an addition. It's your intelligence onto the kind of people that you associate yourself with. If you associate yourself with people who are going to pull you back or are going to or too demanding and don't understand you, then you will obviously find your relationships a distraction. But if you can find people and associate with people who understand where you are in life and who are a support system rather than a detraction, it's not a bad thing to be around people. In fact, one of the best ways to deal with the emotional pressure of this exam is to have good relationships around you. It can be a spousal relationship, it can be a romantic relationship, it can be friends, it can be parents, it can be siblings, anybody. You need to have good positive relationships around you. So if you're in bad relationships, please end them maybe, or get out of them. Or if you're in good relationships, more power to you. And please have you'll have to give time to everything and everyone. And listen, you will regret not giving that time. Okay, so please plan it well. Don't waste time, just plan your time well. Distractions I've already covered. Don't take things as distractions. You need to do everything in life. You can't suddenly decide that I'm going to study, so now food is a distraction. It isn't. There are, everything in life has an importance and has a space and has something that you need to do. um, so how to deal with fake people whom you can't avoid? Why? You can avoid fake people. Tell them, I don't think you being genuine with me, and I don't think I want to spend time with you, and move on. What do you mean fake? You can't avoid. Why can't you avoid? Why are you meeting such people? You can always move on. uh, how to keep relationships healthy everywhere? um, okay, so what you do is, be positive yourself. There is this thing that we sit and criticize other people. Don't do that. Someone who's sitting and criticizing other people with you is probably criticizing you behind your back. So don't be friends with people who talk bad about other people. Don't be friends with people who say negative things about others and sit and criticize other people all the time. Don't do that, because if someone is doing that with you, they're obviously doing that behind you, your back, with others as well. So don't do that. Choose the people. Remember that whoever is in a way with you, they are that way with others as well. So that's how you choose your relationships. Yeah, so one more thing that I want to talk about, I mentioned before as well, that the ratio of clearing this exam is very, very small. That doesn't mean that you won't clear. You cannot give this exam thinking that I won't clear. Okay, you will clear. You have to believe that. But there is always that element that something may go wrong and something may not happen the way you wanted. For example, if you fall ill on the exam, then what? Right? Those things can happen. So, backup option, what it does is, it helps you stay motivated. Okay, that nervousness and that tension and that emotional pressure that you feel, that lessens if you know that if this doesn't happen, I have something else that I can do. Okay, so in my case, I think it helps with motivation. I think it keeps you motivated, that when you're writing your prelims exam, you will not be in that much tension and you will not be in that much pressure, and you will not mark your answers incorrectly if you're all that you're thinking is, oh my god, I have nothing else to do. What will I do if I fail this exam? What will I do if I fail this exam? If you know what you will do if you fail this exam, that will help you a little. That will make it a little more simple. uh, if you're a dwarf, you will not face problems because of that in the interview. Don't worry about that. Interviewers do not discuss your disability. Interviewers will not sit and ask you, why are you like this? Don't worry, people are not like that. Okay, interviewers will not do that. And remember this, somebody else also asked about interview. Yeah, so for interview, I will just tell you this. They are sitting there to take you. You are the one who's going to give them a reason to not take you. Okay, if they don't want to take you, they will never call you in that room. So they are sitting there to take you. You are the one who's going to convince them that don't take me. Okay. And by the way, if you understand the exam process, you will realize that it's the addition of your mains marks and your interview marks that total give you a rank. Okay. So technically, interview is just one subject. You get to appear for that subject if you have done well in the mains. It is just that. Okay. So nobody fails because of interview. You fail because of your mains marks. So the most important stage is actually your mains exam. It isn't your interview, it isn't your prelims like that. Obviously, prelims you need to clear because saying, oh, I failed in the interview. Nobody fails in the interview unless you get a zero. Okay. But if you have enough marks in your mains, whatever marks you get in the interview, that is just one more subject added. So, interview just changes your rank. It doesn't make sure that you clear or don't clear. Mains makes sure that you clear or don't clear. Okay. एनसीईआरटी के नोट्स नहीं बना सकते. पीपल आर टेलिंग मी दैट 6, 7, 8 इनके कोई नोट्स नहीं बनते. आप एनसीईआरटी जो इतना छोटी सी बुक है उसका क्यों नोट्स बनाने के लिए टाइम खर्च करना चाहते हो? मत करो. उतना वो बहुत छोटी बुक है. उसका नोट्स बनाओगे तो फिर तो कितनी सारी किताबों का नोट्स बनाना पड़ेगा. Newspaper reading, you have to do it from your first day if you can. I am not that sincere. I'm an extremely lazy person. I used to find reading government news in newspaper very, very boring. So I worked on the method that I discussed in the beginning. So yeah. Okay, writing skills and when to start writing. That's one thing I thought I'll cover. Don't anybody who has any personal queries that you want to talk to me, please message me on my Facebook account. Just search my name on Facebook and you will come. You will. I don't have a page. I have my own profile. So you'll find my profile. You can message me there. I respond to everybody who sends me an actual question and not a hi. Don't send me a hi, how are you? Send me a question. I will come back to you. When to start writing? Please start writing when you've covered your main syllabus well. See, what happens is when you start writing, you're actually answering something. And in the mains, they are going to test your content, how much you know, not the way you're writing. Okay. I mean, your sentence, your presentation does matter, but what will you present if you don't know the answer? Okay. So it's the first and the most important thing is that you complete the main syllabus. Only then do you start writing if you want to. And maybe you should, because time management becomes a problem in the exam. So you should ideally. I did not do that because I'm a very, very lazy person. But most people do it, so it's not a bad idea. But don't do it before you've completed the course, because that time you don't actually know what are you writing if you've not read everything. So wait, complete your course and then start writing. Okay. Age to do this exam. I think the right age is when you have made sure you have a good backup optional. Okay. Be a group A or officer or a group D officer. That doesn't make sense. So have a good backup option. Take your time, prepare yourself well, prepare your life well. Please live a little. When you come into the service, you will realize that there are a lot of restrictions, which includes time restriction. You won't have so much time for your family, for your friends to do things that you like, because you will be working very hard. So it's important that you manage things better before, that you enjoy a little before. So please take your time. And sometimes people message and say, I'm 28, 29. Is it too late? It's not too late if you are very clear on why you're doing this exam. See, if you're thinking, I want to be chief secretary of every state, or I want to be the cabinet secretary, then probably 28, 29 might be late. But if you really want to get into the service and do good work, you want to change lives, you want to make a difference to someone, you want to help people, and you want to, just make the world around you better, then it's never too late. It's never too late to start a good thing. So don't worry about age unless you are that ambitious that your only ambition is, I want to be cabinet secretary. And remember this, not everybody who enters at the age of 21 gets to those positions. Remember this. It's a very long career. Something can go wrong. It's a very long career. You may change, a lot of things happen. So not everybody who gets in at 21, 22 becomes a cabinet secretary or a chief secretary. Okay. So there are a lot of other factors that play in. So don't worry about that too much. Just make sure that you're doing this for the right reasons. Don't worry about something that will happen in 35 years. Think about the period before that. Will you be happy? Will you like doing what you're doing? Will you be able to change the world around you? Will you be able to make some difference? um, okay, Hindi language, I'm not discussing this time. I will try and discuss it if I do a session later. Graduation ke marks, and do graduation marks matter? So that's the best part about UPSC civil services exam. It allows you to write your history again. It allows you to correct your mistakes. Okay, so here you start from zero. The only thing that matters is that you have a valid graduation degree, and then you clear the prelims and the interview, and the mains and the interview. That is it. Marks of graduation don't matter. And like I said, the most important stage actually is your mains exam. So if you do really well in that, maybe 5 marks here and there matter in the interview, that didn't clear your graduation in first year or something, first attempt or something. But let's be honest, uh, all that really matters is how you've performed in this exam. So it gives you a start. It allows you to start from zero. If you are an average student in school, if you're a student who's never done well, if you are the topper, you are all going to be starting from ground zero when you give civil services exam. That's the best part about this. It allows you to start from zero. Everything wipes out, all your background mistakes, all your successes, everything becomes zero. And very rarely do your interviews happen on the basis of your DAF form like that. They don't pick that this is what your marks are, what did you do. They don't really do that. They ask you what you are now. So you get a chance to reinvent yourself. You get a chance to correct all your past mistakes when you give this exam. So you can do that. And okay. Yes, and one last thing that I'm covering is people making this thing that I can't remember anything. I don't remember what I did, and I don't remember things even after reading it multiple times. It's okay. If you think about it, nobody remembers anything. Even on the day of the exam, on the morning, when you're entering the exam hall, you will feel blank. You will feel like you've never studied anything, you've never remembered anything, and you will always think, oh my God, I don't know anything. What am I doing here? It's okay. Everybody feels like that. Okay. As long as you have revised 7, 8 times, when you see the question, the answer will come to you. You will know what to say, you will know what to write. So don't worry. It's very normal. It happens everywhere. So don't worry about that. Uh, okay. So I'm not recommending any books, newspapers, or magazines here. I don't want to. And remember this exam is a very new exam every year. New sources come in. So I gave this exam 5 years ago. Whatever sources I study may not be relevant anymore. Please understand this. So don't keep asking other people for resources and everything. You might have to Google it yourself. You might have to read a lot of things and understand which one works best for you. So you have, if you're asking me this question, a lot of you are asking me questions that I've already discussed in the session. So I think I'm going to end here. So good luck, everyone. I will, if this was helpful, I will try and do another session on some of the other topics. And um, please read my blog for the smaller things and the smaller content point issues. And good luck. And I hope you all have a brilliant career ahead. And for those who cleared prelims, best of luck for the next stage. For those who didn't, there is always the next time. So good luck. Okay, there is something wrong. The stream is stuck. It's not ending. Interview में क्या करे? Okay, this is not letting me end.